Right, TikTok. Just going to put the hood up because I think it's using my headphones as a microphone, and it's probably windy. So there you go. I don't normally walk around dressed like this. I thought I'd just give you an update because I haven't been live really, and I haven't posted anything. So for the last month, have basically been taking my dad to and from A&E. Could be 1 in the morning, 3 in the morning. Sometimes it's 4 in the morning, and we're there all day in A&E. Sometimes he's stayed over for 4 or 5 days at a time, pushed to the side in a corridor, and I've just sat on a little plastic chair for 12 hours a day just with him. And he's not doing too great really. I won't go into his full medical history because that's private, but the reason I'm telling you is I'm a religious person, and during this period I have really leaned on my faith, and I guess I'm just asking other people, whether you're religious or not, just to maybe keep a thought of my father, make sure he's okay. Tomorrow I'm driving him for his scans, and to be honest, the scans are looking for the big horrible C word, and he's not been doing very good, and we can't put a finger on why. And so unfortunately, have to rule these things out, and touch wood, hopefully we will do. I'll physically touch a tree there just in case. And so, yeah, Wednesday, Friday, going for those scans to either rule anything out or find out. And this whole month has just been incredibly stressful. Incredibly stressful for me, and obviously more so for my dad. It's made me just realise a lot. Obviously I joined TikTok because, well, I was on my own and I didn't really have anyone to talk to, and so the whole goal is to maybe meet someone or talk to someone, or help my social anxiety. I mean, right now I'm talking whilst there's some people walking to the left of me, which a year ago I never would have done. But I'm kind of at a point now where I'm just like, well, I'm doing my own thing. I don't really care anymore. When you have a big issue in your life, everything kind of gets rejigged, if that makes sense. All of a sudden things don't seem as important as they used to. Being blocked by somebody that was rude to me on TikTok just has no relevance. Being removed as a mod by some young person that is just heavily influenced has no relevance. A girl not liking me, whatever. I really don't care, to be honest. I've got my own stresses and things to deal with. And I suppose, how do I word it? It's just put things into perspective, I guess is the right word. And I've been trying to meet with a friend for a while, and I'll be honest, that was giving me a bit of stress, but I weren't, I understand why and everything. And so I'm just trying to de-stress, and I'm just trying to think about where I am and what am I doing. And I'd like to meet someone. If that can't happen, then that can't happen. I'd like to get to know somebody. I've tried to even talk to some people from TikTok, and if that can't happen, that can't happen. I can't force people or make people, or people have their own issues. I've got my own issues. I've got my own issues where some days I want to jump out of bed and phone call somebody and be like, hey, let's meet up for a beer, look at this weather. oh yeah, let's go for a pint in the pub, that would be lovely. And then the next day, I don't even want to exist. You know, so I completely understand meeting up and things like that just been difficult, and I'll never ever hold it against somebody. Maybe I should be, but I don't. And just the stresses this month and have just been a lot, to be honest. And when I go on live, I don't feel very positive. And I'm trying to be a positive person, because I realise when I spend a lot of time around negative things, it really does rub off on me, and I begin to get down and feel bad. And so I don't want to be that guy that's like super negative on live stream or, you know, whatever. So I'm not doing that anymore. You know, like I said, yesterday was it yesterday or Sunday? I think it was Sunday. On Sunday I actually had a really lovely day. Probably the best day I've had in a long time. And they were all things I did for myself and arranged for myself. And there was nobody that made that happen other than me. And so it felt really, I suppose, felt really rewarding. You know, as silly as it was, driving myself, taking my newly MOT'd and insured car that I did myself, and I bought the car for myself, driving to a place I wanted to go, going into the store and purchasing something that I normally wouldn't have purchased because I would have had to ask for it and go out of my way. But I went there and I asked the woman. I felt okay. And that was the main thing. It wasn't that I just did it because I've done it in the past. This time I actually felt comfortable. And that might seem like nothing at my big old age, but for me, the number one thing I've learnt this year is like, be honest to yourself and be honest about your own issues. Then you can work on them. And for the first time probably in my life, I've actually worked on some of them, because I've kind of broke myself down to a point where I'm like, okay, these are the issues I've got. Let's really work on them on a very, very basic ground level. You know, let's see how we feel. Like I say, I have some people I talk to that I consider friends. I've never met any of them. I'd love that to be the next step. But I'm also well aware that's a big thing for me. And I have to be ready for that as well. So, the reason I haven't really been making any videos or going live is because it's been an incredibly stressful month. And it might, unfortunately, become a lot more stressful and a lot more sad. And I hope that's not the case because, well, I don't even want to talk about the relationship with my dad, but it's like massive. It's pretty much everything. Maybe that's a bad thing to be my age and be relying and having such a bond with your dad, or maybe it's a lovely thing. I like to think it's a lovely thing. But I'm not going to talk about it because I'll just get upset. So let's just hope it continues. And you know, I am just trying my best to keep going. It was a couple months ago where I'll name the person. I got into an argument with a TikToker called Victoria Love, and I was the lowest I've ever been in my life. And at that period in time, I was kind of low-key mocked for it, to be honest. And I felt really hurt by that. And I kind of snapped, told her to fuck right off. No other words. And as I walked past her singular black cat. Hopefully that's a good omen.